UvaldeRadio.net, Monday morning here with you. Thank you for tuning in here at UvaldeRadio.net. I'm Robert Miguel, and we're doing a very special thing, a little bit different for our Monday morning programming, but we'll call it Monday Morning Live instead of our regular Friday Night Live. A couple of weekends ago, we had a very special guest in from Graham, Texas, who was here to do our normal Friday Night Live showcase over at Broadway 8th Rio, where we always feature the rising stars of Texas music. Well, I couldn't be there, but he showed up like a pro, but we got to do a make good on the feature interview that we normally do on Friday evenings. So joining me from Graham, Texas, please welcome Mr. Gabe Choate.
Hello.
Good morning, man. Thanks for doing this.
Yes, sir.
All right, so thanks, first of all, man, for this make good. I appreciate you rolling with the changes. Like I said, I couldn't be there for the regular Friday Night Live. I don't miss many of those, but it does happen every now and again. So I do appreciate you showing up, plugging in, and putting on a great show for the folks in Uvalde. Gabe, let's go and start off this way, man. Tell me, what was your experience? Well, first of all, have you ever been to Uvalde prior to your show a couple of weekends ago?
That was my first time there.
Wow, well, welcome to Uvalde, man. Cool.
Yeah, it was a nice town. I really enjoyed it. Really did.
So now, do you typically, you're from Graham, which is, what, just a couple hours away, or?
About 6 hours away
6
from
hours,
Uvalde.
okay.
I'm up by Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay, I didn't realize you were so close to DFW. Now, I'm a Dallas brat. I was raised in Irving. I don't know if you know that about me. So,
okay, cool.
I'm very familiar with North Texas, but I was actually born and raised here in Uvalde and spent most of my teenager and adult life in Dallas. So
okay.
So love me some DFW vibes. But so yeah, 6 hour drive from down here to North Texas. For sure, I make that trip a lot to see my kids. Yep. But Gabe, again, appreciate you making the long trek, especially with gas prices these days. And so, do you typically make it out this far southwest, or about how far? What's the furthest you had been prior to Uvalde?
Down to Kerrville, okay. In the Austin area. I got a gig coming up in a couple of weeks in the Braunfels, and that's kind of been the furthest in the southwest direction,
Oh, cool. Now on the drive here, did you take 35 down straight, or did you go through the river region and check out all the hills?
Well, actually, I went through. Toby from the Buck reached out to me the day before, said, since you're passing through, stop by and visit. So I did a little radio interview with them.
Oh, cool.
On the way down Friday. So
very cool, man. Well, you took the scenic route.
Scenic route, yeah, exactly.
So for us, I always love to hear this from people that had never been to Uvalde, and obviously, we went through some bad stuff a couple of years ago. So yeah. I think that's what most people these days associate with Uvalde. But once you get here, it's that we obviously are many more dimensions than just that victim town, I guess. But go and give me share some more thoughts. I know you were only here for a few hours for a quick show and go, but give me some more thoughts of how you felt about our little community.
Man, I thought it was. I had no idea how big a town Uvalde was, and I was surprised at what all y'all had, and I really loved the pizza place there. And it was a nice crowd and receptive and really into original music. And man, it was just a good time all around and beautiful. It was, like I say, it's the first time I've been in that part of the state. So.
Well, man, like I said, normally I am usually here to shake your hand and say welcome to Uvalde, and I apologize for not being able to be there, but we do appreciate you coming through and putting on a great show, man. So we got good response. I got good response on my end. So here we are, cool. Getting to know Gabe Choate, man. So cool. Let's go and do this. We'll go ahead and play the song that's already in rotation now so the audience knows exactly who we're speaking to. But before we get into it, give us a quick overview on the song Heaven Sent. That's the current single.
I wrote that song, I guess a little over a year ago. I was dating a woman, and I thought it would last forever, but it didn't. But it's a beautiful love song anyway. And really, I went to Nashville last October and to record with Dean Miller, who's Roger Miller's son. He's my producer, and wow. He had made a preliminary song list, and that one wasn't on it at first. And then after doing some prayer, I thought, I'm going to put this on there, and we switched out a couple of songs and put that on there. the song itself is it's not symmetrical in the way the song is put together, and so it's not curt verse chorus. It's kind of it's got its own structure. So I think that makes it unique, and people are enjoying it. So I'm having fun with it. So
yeah, it sounds great on the radio, so let's go and get it on. So again, so the listeners know exactly who we're talking to. This is the song you've heard many times here on UValdeRadio.net. It's called Heaven Sent. This is Gabe Choate, and this is Uvalde Radio.
Well, she's heaven sent and a sight for sore eyes. I think about her all day and night. And we're together, act like a couple of kids. Both travel some ragged roads. A look in her eyes just feels like home. God crossed our path, sure glad that He did. 'Cause we're blessed beyond measure, the side of hell, and she's my greatest treasure. She's my answered prayer, and she's heaven sent. Country church, first sight of her, my heart turned out of my shirt. She had me at that very first smile. 'Cause we're blessed beyond measure, the side of hell, and she's my greatest treasure. She's my answered prayer, and she's heaven sent. A sight for sore eyes. I think about her all day and night. We're together, act like a couple of kids. We both travel some ragged roads. A look in her eyes just feels like home. God crossed our path, sure glad that He did. 'Cause we're blessed beyond measure, the side of hell, and she's my greatest treasure. She's my answered prayer, and she's heaven sent. They say the Lord works mysterious ways. I thought about it, and I'm here to say, baby, let's buckle up and go for some miles. 'Cause we're blessed beyond measure, the side of hell, and she's my greatest treasure. She's my answered prayer, and she's heaven sent. Yeah, she's my answered prayer, and she's heaven sent. She's my answered prayer, and she's heaven sent.
UvaldeRadio.net, special edition of Friday Night Live. We're doing it on a Monday morning, ironically, so we'll call it Monday Morning Live. We're here doing a make good with Gabe Choate out of Graham, Texas, who made the trip down to Uvalde a couple of weekends ago to perform at our Friday Night Live showcase. And we're excited to catch up with Gabe because I could not be there. So, again, Gabe, it's a pleasure to talk to you. We just did your song Heaven Sent. That one's still climbing up the charts. Tell me, what's it been like releasing music to Texas radio? I know you've been playing. We're going to get into your full musical background here in a bit, but you have not put that much music out to Texas radio, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, sir, I haven't. 20 years ago, I recorded a single and put it out. Of course, it was totally different back then as far as the way you do it and all that, and it just played on a couple of local radio stations up here in North Texas, and then I kind of just played cover music for years and years, and then started really writing a couple of years ago and decided to record it, and then some people heard it and said, man, let's do something with that stuff, and so I'm putting it out, and I'm really happy with the results so far, and I mean, it's quite honestly, it's blown me away. I never expected a chart, and I just thought, well, I'll just put it out and see what happens, and man, it's just been going. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love that Texas we have this really cool, chart system and network. You got radio stations that are specifically playing Texas country, red dirt music. Like you said earlier, you made a plan to come to Uvalde, but then, you also swung by another radio station. It's kind of cool that you can do that. Tell me, what's it been like? I'm sure you've done, whether it's mini radio tours specifically going to markets, or whether it's just getting out to support the single in different places in Texas. How hard have you hit the road? Have you made any new friends? What's the experience been like since you've been putting out singles specifically to Texas radio?
Oh, yes. I've met so many wonderful people and met so many other artists that, because I do stay pretty busy playing shows, so it's kind of hard to get out to see other people play, and, but since I've started putting out music to radio, I've done more song swaps and things like that, and got to meet more people and met several beautiful people in the radio industry, and made a lot of friends. And yeah, it's a very welcoming community and a family, almost like, and it's I'm just excited to be a part of it, and look forward to doing it for a long time to come. As long as I can.
Well, now you mentioned that Uvalde is about the furthest southwest you've been out. Any other highlights as far as places you met out, whether it's to the west or to the east, or markets that you've been to that are standouts for you?
I went out to Big Spring, Texas, back in April. Visit with Big Star out there, and got some gigs out there while I was there. So I've been out there a few times, and they're really playing my stuff in the Big Spring area. And then, like I mentioned, Kerrville earlier, they're playing me a lot, and I plan to get down there and do more shows in that area. And I've really got some really cool opportunities coming up in September. I'm actually going to my first fly-in show to Chicago, Illinois, to open for the Rangers band up there at Carol's Pub, and they tell me it's like the oldest honky-tonk in Illinois.
Wow.
So I'm excited about going to do that. I think Cody Canada played there last month, and William Clark Green's playing there a couple of weeks before I get there, so I'm really excited about that. And got some other, I was just on the phone with my promoter earlier this morning, and there might be some other opportunities to get some opening slots for some bigger artists, and so I'm really excited about what the future holds. So
yeah, sounds exciting. Very cool. Again, we got Gabe Choate on the phone. He's based out of Graham, Texas. That's North Texas, DFW area. So we're kind of kindred spirits that ways. Our listeners probably get sick of me talking about Dallas all the time. Go Cowboys.
Cowboys.
But Gabe, let's go ahead and rewind, man. We kind of get caught up with the here and the present. I know that you're not a spring chicken. You're not like a young whippersnapper. You've been doing this for a while. So let's go ahead and go back as far as you can remember, man, and give me the story, Gabe Choate's musical biography, best you can, as you can recall it.
Well, I tell you, I guess my first musical experiences were was influenced by my grandfather, who was a World War II veteran, and he was a harmonica player, and he would sit on the porch and make up songs and play harmonica and play old 40s stuff and stuff like that. And harmonica was actually my first instrument, and then fast forward a few years, and my paternal grandmother, she was an organist in church, and she used to take me to church choir and stuff like that, and all that was kind of my the birthing of it. And then got my first guitar when I was about 14 or so. Started playing, and of course I grew up a rock and roll kid. I was playing in garage bands and stuff like that, and moved to Austin, Texas was my first professional band, and it was kind of a grunge band called No Such Animal, and we recorded some stuff, and of course didn't ever send it to radio. We just kind of had some stuff down, and that band broke up, and I moved back to Graham, Texas, and met my first wife, and we had our family and all that, and I just kind of played sporadically for several years. And then as my kids grew up and moved out of the home, and I said, man, I'm going to really start putting more time into my music, and nothing tying me down now. So not that they tied me down. I love my kids.
I totally feel you. I got a kid going to college this fall. I follow you.
It's that empty nest thing, It's like, what am I going to do with my time? Well, I'm going to play music. That's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
So started writing and recording and just kind of took off from there. But I spent many years, like I said, I started out in rock and roll, and then as I had my family and was in Graham, which is a small town about 80 miles outside of Fort Worth, so it's there's not a lot of rock and roll to be played in Graham, Texas. So I switched over to country. Of course, I was raised with country music, and being in Texas. And,
yeah, you can't avoid it. Can't escape it.
Raised on a farm, so. Yeah.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, and we're going to play your previous single, I Can't Dance, here in a few to wrap up the interview. But, Heaven Sent, great song, definitely kind of more of a mid-tempo, like I said, love song. But you can definitely catch your rock influence, your rock edge on I Can't Dance. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, this guy's got some rock roots. And now that I'm hearing your story, it's obvious that you are a rocker at heart, not unlike myself. So, like I said, we're kindred spirits, brother. Little rock and country guys. So give me an example of some of just for people like hearing these types of answers, but some of the, I guess, country music acts and maybe even rock and roll acts that are influenced, I guess, the sound or the direction of your writing and maybe even your lyrics.
Oh man, going back a long ways, I was huge Stevie Ray Vaughan fan. Nice. Huge. Of course, I'm a Merle Haggard fan. I'm just big Merle fan. And as far as writing, I think a lot of my stuff kind of filters through those guys. Waylon Jennings, guitar playing wise, I like David Gilmour a lot. Can't really hear that a lot in my music, but I listen to it a lot.
Yeah.
But, of course, I was into the heavier stuff when I was younger, Metallica and Alice in Chains and stuff like that. And, of course, I still listen to it. But, and I draw influences from that. And in the country world, Pat Green, love Pat Green, Robert Earl Keen. My kind of writing is kind of all over the map. Some of it may be storyteller stuff. Some of it may be funny. Some of it may be heartbreak. Some of it's love songs. And I try to make each song different. And so, I draw from all over the map whenever I write.
Well, very cool, man. Well, like I said, I've only heard a couple of songs that we've got, and I think that they already show a very cool, variation, of sound. Whenever I heard, because I heard Heaven Sent first, when I heard I Can't Dance, and I almost thought to myself, is this the same guy? Which I like, So I think the audience, if they haven't heard it, will be able to kind of understand where I'm going with that. But overall, I think that's fantastic. Again, we've got Gabe Choate on the phone. He's checking in from Graham. He was in Uvalde a couple of weekends ago at our Friday Night Live showcase. We were unable to do the live interview as normally planned, so we're doing a make good here, and happy to talk to Gabe and get to know him a little bit better. Hopefully, we can get you back in town in Uvalde again when you come through these parts again, and we can do this all proper and shake hands and have a shot. But Gabe,
I'd love to.
We're going to go ahead and play I Can't Dance, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to wrap it up if you don't mind. I know you have a group of guys, right? A band?
We do. It's 4-piece right now. We're looking for a couple other guys.
Okay.
And don't play as many full bands as I would like to, but next year we're going to really buckle down and try to do a whole lot more of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to play the song. We're going to come back. You're going to introduce me, tell me the names of the guys that are in the band, and then we'll talk about your future plans, okay?
Cool.
So y'all check this one out. Again, this is Gabe Choate. It's called I Can't Dance, and you're hearing it on UvaldeRadio.net.
My woman asked me to take her out last night. Said she needs to spend some time underneath a neon lights. Said they got a hardwood floor and a pedal in the band. Said she needs to cut a rug. Well, I just ain't that kind of man. We can drink beer, load darts, and shoot pool, and get me out on that dance floor, honey. I'll be looking like a fool. Hey, my style's and weekend slow. Sway in the kitchen if you just give me a chance. You better believe me when I say I can't dance. Scooting, honey, I'll always let you down. I ain't afraid to admit I was born with 2 left feet, but I got a skill set, honey. I got moves between the sheets. I can grab a guitar, play you a sweet, sweet song. We can light some candles, mama, make love all night long. But I can't dance. I can pick this guitar and sing. If you want some fine romance, and honey, I can do those things. Buy you roses, tell you joke, make you smile. Get me out on that dance floor, honey. Well, that just ain't my style. Slow, sway in the kitchen if you just give me a chance. You better believe me when I say I can't dance. You better believe me when I say I can't dance.
UvaldeRadio.net. Happy Monday morning to you. Got a special guest this morning. It's Gabe Choate out of Graham, Texas. As again, like I said, he was in Uvalde a couple of weekends ago, made his debut at Friday Night Live, did a great live set on the Broadway A30 patio, and hopefully we'll have him back in Uvalde, Texas again very, very soon. The song you just heard is called I Can't Dance. That was Gabe's first release to radio, if I'm not mistaken. Uvalde Radio was not on that one, but we're happy to play it now. Gabe, what was that experience putting out that first single to Texas?
Oh, man, it was awesome. It was, I didn't know what to expect, and I sent it to my promoter, and it was out about a week, and he calls me up. He said, well, what do you think? And I said, think about what? And he said, man, you're on the chart. I said, after a week. It was like I'd made the Texas country music chart on the Bubbling Under. I think I was at like 102 after a week, and I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. And then it was a couple of weeks later when I actually heard it on the radio for the first time. I was actually driving to do a radio interview in, where was I going? I think it was Abilene I was going to, and I heard it on the way over there, and I was like, oh, man, this is so cool. First time hearing yourself on the radio. It's a memorable thing, you know.
Oh man, and, I love hearing those stories. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Who's the first person you called, or what did you do? What was the first action you took besides cranking it up?
Well, yeah, cranking it up, taking a picture of my dash with a, you know.
Yep.
Got to do that. And then I called my mom, said I heard it on the radio. You know, my mom was the first person. She's my biggest fan and biggest supporter.
Excellent.
And then I called my girlfriend, let her know, and called my ex-wife. So, but yeah, that was kind of the progression of who got called, and then it was pretty awesome experience. It really was.
And I mean, and isn't it, Gabe?
I tell you, every time I hear it now, it still doesn't change. I mean, I'm still excited. It's like, oh, that's me.
Isn't it fantastic? Like we talked about, you've been doing this a long time, and you know you're a older guy with grown kids. You know what I mean? Like I said, empty nester type, and to know that you can have all this success in real life, you know, and things that you've accomplished, and you know that you can kind of die and go, you know what, I did good. You know, all is well. But to know that you can still be an older gentleman and get excited about something new in your life still happening, right? It's like a rebirth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And man, I tell you the truth, I owe it all to God. I mean, that's the only way I can explain it. Why get this kind of success at this time in my life? It's got to be God's got His hand on it. So I'm eternally grateful for that. I'll give Him the glory every chance I get.
And I'll give that a big amen too, man. Again, we got Gabe Choate on the phone, and let's go and talk about, like we said, the band, man. I know you got a group of guys that you work with. First of all, clarify, are these guys your core guys? Are they more like hired guns? I think you said you were looking for some more players. Give me the scoop on the Gabe Choate band.
Well, I had been playing solo acoustic shows for the last couple of years, and I met a bass player by the name of Cody Berry who came to one of my shows, and Cody has been a hired gun for lots of guys in the DFW area, and he said, man, I really like your stuff. We ought to play together. And so he and I we do some duets with just a bass and me on guitar, and then an old friend of mine that I've known since I was a teenager, went to high school with, Russell Taylor, is my drummer now. He hit me up. He said, man, I really want to play drums with you. I said, come on, brother, let's do it. And so we've been doing a three-piece a lot. And then Mikey McBride, who I met on DFW Facebook page, kind of a hired gun site, he plays steel guitar, and he's played, I don't know, probably a dozen shows with us. And right now it's been the four of us, and then we've used a couple of other hired guns. Adam Moore played drums one night when Russell couldn't make it, and then a man by the name of Chip Scott played guitar with us a couple of shows. And we are actually this next week we're going to audition a couple of guitar players. But right now it's the four of us: Cody Berry on bass, Russell Taylor on drums, and Mikey McBride on steel guitar. So.
Very cool, man. So hopefully one day we'll get to catch the full band experience. But for now, man, I really want to work on getting at least you back here in Uvalde so I can, again, shake your hand and meet you proper. Again, it's Gabe Choate on the phone. We just played a couple of his songs. Gabe, what is in the future? Are you going to record more music, put out more music to radio, try to hit the road more? What's in? We're wrapping up summer here, so give me a quick snapshot as to what you expect going into fall, into the holidays, and maybe even into 2025.
Got a lot of stuff going on. Actually going to have a new radio release come out next week. Originally, we were just going to send it to Spotify or to streaming only, but we decided this week we were going to go ahead and send it on to radio, and nice. I think it's going to come out next week. I'll have the exact date. It's called Wish I Would Have Known, and I've got a full album which will have these 3 singles and 6 more songs on it that I'm actually going to put on vinyl, and it's going to come out probably in January.
Wow.
And
awesome.
We're going to put it on vinyl and CD and, sell it at the shows and sell it online and all that. And of course, all of it will be available online, and then we'll pick a couple more songs out of it to send to radio starting in January. And then I've got some collaborations with some other Texas artists. I don't really want to give their names right now, but I think I'm going to record a duet next year to send to radio.
Oh, come on, Gabe. We're a small town, man. We'll keep it secret.
Well, I was asked not to say it.
I totally get it.
But yeah, I'm going to have that going on, and then hopefully just going to play every show I can, and hopefully get some more full band shows. I'd like to play like 4 to 6 full band shows a month, and then sprinkle the acoustic shows in there. But that's kind of the plan for next year, and hopefully we can even get out farther and get to some other states. And like I say, I've got the deal coming up in September in Chicago, and I'm hoping that opens up some doors, and maybe next year sometime get in a van and tour the U.S. Who knows, man?
Sounds great, man. What a plan. Love it, man. Well, Gabe, it's been really an honor and a pleasure getting to know you. And again, I apologize for not getting to meet you face to face when you made the trek down here to Uvalde. Again, I cannot overstate this enough, how much we appreciate you spending your time, energy, gas money, coming down to Uvalde. I know it's not a hop, skip, and a jump away. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, for coming out and visiting our little town. We look forward to having you back again. Before we wrap it up, Gabe, give me your all the websites, Spotify's, the places to find you and download your music. www.gabechoatemusic.com is my website, and then Gabe Choate
Music on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's Gabe Choate on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, everywhere. So,
and there's an A in that Choate, right?
What's that?
The Choate has an A in there, right? Just to clarify for those.
Yes. CHOATE. Yeah.
All right. And all right, man. Well, everybody get online, find them, give them a like and a follow, and a stream or two, and maybe even a download.
Yes.
Gabe, any other late breaking news you want to unload before we wrap it up?
I think that's it, man. I sure appreciate you, Robert, man. I love what you do for Texas music, and just love you, man.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Like I said, man, I'm looking forward to shaking your hand again very soon. So, once again, Gabe Choate out of Graham, making his Uvalde radio debut. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless.